Hey everybody, so what we're going to do is I'm going to show you how to use SquarePact to strengthen proposal documents. So if you have a proposal you're submitting for funding, maybe it's a government research proposal, maybe it's a proposal to an enterprise customer, you may not quite know who's going to be evaluating it. Packlets in SquarePact are going to allow you to simulate a variety of reviewer perspectives so you can prepare for all possibilities. So we'll jump in. This is the SquarePact main interface here once you've selected a workspace. What we're going to do is upload a document. Now, this is an NSF SBIR proposal. It's actually the real one that we submitted a few years ago. And you're going to upload the document on this left side interface here. Now, it's going to take a little while to process because what it's doing now is it's trying to really understand the structure of the document and parse the semantics. It's basically creating notes for itself to use later so that it can make more intelligent responses. So it'll be a couple minutes. When that's done, you can set up an analysis. I'm going to show you two ways to do that. The first is a pre-packaged way. The second is more if you want to customize it a bit. So you just select the document and go create report. And what this is going to show you is two options here. If you already know that it's going to be submitted to NSF, then you can select this option here. But if it's not NSF, I'll show you how to do a more custom report shortly. So for NSF, you just click this button here, and if you want to be emailed when it's done, then you keep that checked, and that's it. Click Analyze. Now, this report is essentially going to simulate a panel review. So if you know about NSF, when you submit a proposal, it goes through a panel review, and you're going to have a bunch of experts with different perspectives evaluating the proposal. Simulating that review is what this report is going to do. It's going to take a few minutes again because it's doing a really deep scan, right? This is not just doing a simple query to ChatGPT or something. So you can close this and come back if you want. You can do other reports. You're going to receive an email notification when it's done. Or if you don't want email notifications, you can disable that in the settings here. We'll come back in a few minutes and examine the report. Okay, now that the report is done, let's see what it got. We see the document on the right side. It's broken down into clauses for easy reference. And then it found 33 observations. And observations are basically the Packlets individually reporting what they found. You can filter them out by picking certain Packlets. Remember, each Packlet corresponds to some perspective, some type of expertise. For example, the commercial potential reviewer will look at the proposal and say, okay, where are the points that it is weak from a potential tech transfer perspective? We see that absent phase 3 funding strategy is bad. We expand that, and it gives you an overview, tells you why it matters to you. If you want to know which part of the document it's referring to, you can just click on these clause references. It gives you a lot of context about what it thinks is the problem and exactly why it thinks it's a problem. And perhaps the most important part is this remedy. If you agree that this is something important, then the remedy tells you how you can fix it. And you always take that with a grain of salt. Just like in the real world, reviewers who have one perspective may not always agree with each other. So look at this and think of that as if it's a review from a real person. And you can also look at any of the others. If you like them, give it a thumbs up. If you think it's not useful, give it a thumbs down. That helps us improve the results overall. All right, now if you want to access that report again in the future, under this report section on the right side, it would always be there. If you delete the original source documents, then the reports will be deleted. That's so that we can ensure that your data is removed if you want it to be. And next, I'm going to show you how to do a different type proposal. So that's the quick way to do it with an NSF proposal. But what if you have another agency you're submitting to, or you want to emphasize something different? That's also pretty easy. So we're going to start with the same document here. I already have it selected. And we're going to go create report again. But instead of you doing the NSF sort of quick start button here, we're going to click on custom report. The first thing we're going to do here is tell SquarePact who we are. What perspective do you want SquarePact to review this document from? It automatically lists alternatives that it extracted from the document. And here's the trick for proposal review. You want it to simulate the reviewer's thoughts And in this case, the reviewer is going to be the National Science Foundation. So I'm going to select National Science Foundation. You can modify the description, motivation of NSF here, and I'm going to go to the next screen. Now, at this screen, you're going to select the Packlets. So the Packlets are the different experts. Think of it like this. If you were to put together a team of experts and ask them to review your proposal, who would you want on that team? I would want, for example, under this proposal reviewers category, I would want someone that looks at the budget carefully, right? I like this champion Packlet. This is, in government funding, you normally want to have a champion on the other side, someone that is going to advocate for your proposal. So this simulates the champion's perspective, because from their perspective, they're looking for things they can accentuate, and they're looking to remove things that make it hard for them to advocate for you. So that's a good perspective there. You can also select the detractor, which is the opposite of the champion. And then we have Packlets for more specific agencies like DOW, if you want to have one that focuses on ethical compliance, and so on. You can choose up to 10 Packlets at a time. And then finally, if you want to create your own Packlet, for example, if you have a guidance document or a regulatory document or some kind of checklist, then you can do that. I'll save that for another video. So all you got to do is click Analyze, and it'll start the report like we did before, and you can get emailed on completion if you want. So hopefully this shows you the power of SquarePact in proposal preparation. You now have the ability to get ahead of proposal reviewers. And as always, we'd love to hear about your success stories, right? Always feel free to reach out to us, and please check out some of the other videos for more on what you can achieve with SquarePact.